What's the difference between a man and a woman in Islam? Okay, I know that's like a big question because honestly, there's so many answers. But one of the things that actually differentiates men and women in Islam is the masjid. What do I mean? Well, generally, men go to the masjid and women pray at home. That's not necessarily how it always is or has to be, but especially for men, going to the masjid is something you pretty much have to do. So if you're a Muslim and you're not going to the masjid, what does that really make you? Now, of course, I'm not going to sit here and say you're a woman, but you're not truly embodying the principles of masculinity that Islam sets forth. Because in a way, going to the masjid makes you a man. It's one of the separating factors between men and women. And specifically, I'm talking about two prayers, the night prayers. The Prophet ﷺ told us that the heaviest prayers are these two prayers in congregation, Fajr and Isha. And not only that, but if you knew the reward of these two prayers, you would literally come crawling to the masjid. Now just think about that. What would make the average person today literally crawl on their hands and knees to a masjid? People would maybe do it for money, but they wouldn't do it for $5, $10, or $20. They would do it for like 100,000, 500,000, really large sums of money. So what the Prophet ﷺ is telling us is that these two prayers in the masjid is literally worth more than millions and millions of dollars. If you're leaving these two prayers out, praying them at home instead of the masjid, I'm telling you, you're missing out on so much. And I noticed this in my own life. When I started praying Fajr and Isha in congregation in the masjid, every single day, I noticed so much more barakah in my life in pretty much every aspect. But going back to what I said in the beginning, the reason why these prayers are the heaviest on the hypocrites is because they're the hardest, right? You're going to have to go outside during the night, wake up early, and, go out late in the night as well. What that means is you're going to have to exercise a lot of discipline. It's not for the faint of heart, right? And that's why it makes you a man. You have to have that discipline in you. One of the biggest parts of masculinity is having discipline and basically doing whatever you need to do regardless of how you feel. No matter if you feel tired during Fajr, you still have to go out and go there, walk outside, go to the masjid and pray. So that's why these two prayers in a way make you a man, or at least embody the principles of masculinity. They make you responsible, and they're one of the biggest exercises of discipline. And that's discipline and of course how you feel, getting through those emotions of feeling like you don't want to get up, but also in terms of time discipline. See, one of the biggest things that praying in the masjid, especially 5 times a day for every single prayer will give you is barakah in your time and time discipline. It'll make you insanely more productive. If you think about it, these 5 prayers that Allah gave us are kind of a built-in schedule of the day, and they make our day structured. If you miss these prayers, you'll notice that your day kind of vanishes from you. You look back on your day and you feel like you did nothing the entire time. That's because you had no barakah, no blessings in your time. But you'll actually notice that the days where you go to the masjid 5 times, you pray every single prayer in the masjid, you have so much barakah and you feel like you'll get so much more done during that day. And now you might be thinking to yourself, well, going to the masjid 5 times every day takes a lot of time. I mean, let's say the masjid is like 15 minutes away and you got to go to and from. That's like 30 minutes every prayer, so 2.5 hours throughout the whole day. The truth is, anyone who goes through it will actually tell you that going to the masjid gives you more time in your day. This is a counterintuitive principle, but it all relies on this idea of barakah and time, which is something I mentioned. See, you've had the experience where maybe you worked for 1 hour and you got so much done and it was super productive, and then maybe another day you spent 10 hours where it felt like it went so quick and you felt like you got nothing done during that time. The reason why is because one of them had barakah in the time and the other one didn't. This honestly is such an unknown secret of productivity, and it's something that's completely going to change your day. And the way you get barakah in your time is obviously by praying in the masjid every single prayer. And honestly, there are so many other benefits I could talk about. Barakah are blessings not only in your time but also in your rizq. You'll notice that when you get disciplined in praying in the masjid, you literally have more rizq. Allah will give more to you for free. On top of that, going to the masjid connects you to the community. You're going to be surrounded with righteous people, and of course, that's going to push you to be better. And of course, in terms of worship, the Prophet ﷺ told us that both of these prayers, these night prayers, praying them in congregation is equal to praying the entire night. Fajr being one half and Isha being the other half. So I get it. You might be listening to this and still feel in your head that it feels really difficult. What I'd recommend you to do is literally just try it for 1 day. Figure out when Fajr time in your masjid is, go up and wake up early just for 1 day and try it out to see how you feel. I guarantee you that day where you pray every single prayer in the masjid, Fajr and Isha especially, you'll come back and you'll realize that day is so much better. And you'll also realize realize that praying in the masjid is a lot easier than you thought. See, waking up for Fajr super early and going outside at nighttime sounds difficult, but once you actually do it, it's a lot easier because at the end of the day, it's something Allah is going to bless you with. Now, if you're scared of like danger or something like that because it's nighttime, listen to this hadith by the Prophet ﷺ. Whoever prays Fajr in the masjid will be under Allah's protection for that day. The truth is, you need to have tawakkul. You need to just trust Allah and trust that this hadith is true. It's about the Prophet ﷺ. So if he's telling you that, then it must be true. So yeah, I just want you to try this for one day. Pray every single prayer in the masjid for that day, especially Fajr and Isha. And then you'll realize that those days are so much better, and inshallah, you're going to continue doing it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.